What's up guys, Woo here, back again with another Division 2 build video guys. Today's build is all about DPS, damage, skill damage, survivability. It's just great. I am thriving in this build. I have run many missions in a group, solo, and I'm at that point now where you guys have got to see this because it's a hell of a lot of fun. And there is a little bit of room for improvement also, which, again guys, this is an amazing template. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, then thumbs doodle, it really helps. If you're new to the channel, drop the woo bar on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. And guys, if you want to support the channel further, check out my Patreon page or the YouTube membership to support the woo progression. Now guys, let's woo this. Guys, here's the build. I'm rolling with Technician Specialization. Two reasons. First reason, Technician is great. It's great, and it grants me that 10% skill damage, and that's key because I want to deal more skill damage on the build. Then guys, that passive 1+ skill tier, which will just elevate me from skill tier 5 to skill tier 6, which lets me use Coyotes mask. So guys, you can see 1 offensive, 0 defensive, 5 utility stats, 14 red damage attributes, and 1 little yellow Lego. Guys, 726k armor, and it feels like you're rolling a lot more on this build. Let's go through it. The mask is Coyotes mask, and it's God roll. This is awesome. It is so fantastic in a group because you're just elevating and supporting your team. And that's exactly what you need. Whether the skill builders, whether the DPSs, you know for a fact they're going to get some extra crit hit chance and crit hit damage with this setup. I really like this. A great team synergy. Also solo, it's only going to benefit your crit damage, which is awesome. So guys, pack instincts. 0 to 15 meters, you're going to get an extra 25% critical hit damage. 15 to 25 meters, that's 10% crit hit damage and 10% crit hit chance. 25 meter plus, that is 25% critical hit chance. With this, most of your firefights are in that 15 to 25 meter range. So that, for me, that will get me an extra 10% crit hit chance and crit hit damage. Awesome. Guys, the holster is Wyvern wear. That's 10% skill damage and 10% status effects. I need that little bit of status effects on my primary skill, which is the Hive Stinger. Crit hit chance and 10.2% critical hit damage. The knee pads, again, this God roll, absolute God roll, awesome pair of knee pads from Wyvern wear. That's 12% crit hit damage and 12% critical, 12% crit hit chance. Wouldn't that be awesome? 6% critical hit chance. And then we have the gloves, which is the first piece of WOOO Corporation. That's skill haste, skill damage, and weapon damage. And a near God roll attribute set on this lovely pair of gloves. Crit hit damage and crit hit chance is definitely the way to go. Backpack is the second piece of WOOO, and it's all about the Force Multiplier, which is the named backpack for WOOO. Crit hit chance, crit hit damage as the offensive mod, and perfect combined arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. That's a nice kick, a nice boost, and that will easily elevate your skill damage from the Hive Stinger up to 1.1 million. Now with this, we know that guys, we can get it a lot more if you're rolling or speccing primarily into skill damage, that's for sure. However, this build isn't like that. It's all about dealing damage with your weapon as opposed to your skills. But to elevate it over 1 million is perfect, is great, and give you the best of both worlds. The chest piece, which is the extra life chest piece, that's crit hit damage, skill haste, again if I can change that for crit hit chance, that's awesome, and 11.4% critical hit damage offensive mod. It's all about unbreakable. When your armor is depleted, repair 95% of your armor, the cooldown is 60 seconds. So every 60 seconds, again guys, you can go all gung-ho, guns blazing to deal some nice damage with this, and it will grant you an extra life, which is great. This is perfect for that face tanking aggressive playstyle that I have on my skill builds. So this is awesome, and it works a treat. Trust me guys, this is great. Perhaps go-to on this setup. It makes the build tick, so this is the bread and butter of the build. The weapons guys, we'll start with the primary, and that's all about the mechanical animal. We know what that bad boy is all about. But look at this is God roll. AR damage, health damage, damage to armor, they are top tier. The talent is Future Perfection. Weapon kills grant 1+ skill tier for 19 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times. Weapon kills at skill tier 6 grant overcharge for 15 seconds, and the cooldown is 90 seconds. I like this, I really do. Now, the mods, crit hit chance, rounds, crit hit chance, and more critical hit chance. Now, this is a great choice of a weapon because you're going to get that overcharge, which is more skill damage, it's more radius or more duration, which is awesome. It really is. Now, you don't have to roll with this. There's plenty of different alternatives, but as this is God roll and it synergizes really well and it kicks out some damage as well, I like this. I think this is a great choice. My secondary is the lovely Sweet Dream. So dealing 1 million damage. I like this. Again, this is awesome. I'm utilising this for one reason alone, and that is the talent Sandman. Melee attacks instantly kill non-elite enemies. Cooldown is 15 seconds. We know in heroic content, solo, or in a group, you will see lots of red bars and lots of veteran enemies. So that means Sandman comes into play quite often. With this aggressive playstyle, once you're up and at him and you've got the extra life, you know you can switch to the Sandman for those purple or red bars and to just one-shot them and just breeze for NPCs. I really love this particular shotgun, only because of the talent, which is amazing. In terms of the mods, we know on exotics they're fixed. So that's accuracy, optimal range, and reload speed. My sidearm is simply the Maxim 9, which is the Technician Specialization Pistol. And that, again, I'm using that because of the talent Perfect Spike. Headshots grant 25% skill damage for 15 seconds. Again, it's there. I don't really use it, but when I do, I use it for that extra skill damage. In terms of the mods, simply rounds. Now guys, let's take a look at the skills. The first skill is all about the Striker Drone, which doesn't have a 4.2 second cooldown. Let's see if I can change that. This happens all the damn time. Let me just change this. Right guys, now let's take a look at this now. Let's see if it's fixed. It's not fixed. Okay, I know for a fact it has a 19.2 second cooldown, not 4.2. If it did, this would be awesome, but it hasn't. So that 19.2 second cooldown, the damage is 52,155, which is decent. I'm happy with that. Striker damage and health because it's skill tier 6. Mod-wise, duration, damage, and health. Now, my other skill is the Hive Stinger, which, funny enough, the skill haste is correct on that one. It's 3.5 seconds. 18 charges, 833,886 damage, and a bleed duration of 7.7 seconds. Now, we know, guys, that I guarantee if you're going to run a skill build where you invest in skill damage, you can get this to 1.1 million easily. And, guys, I know that. So, with this, I've invested on this build primarily into skill damage. No, it's critic chance and critic damage because I want extra crits. I want to deal damage with my weapons. But I also want this to be elevated. And that's why I'm using Perfect Combined Arms. I feel this is a good choice. And it will get me to around about 1.1 million plus damage as once Perfect Combined Arms is proccing. I think it's a good way to set this up because that is still a lot of damage. Damage, yeah, we know, shock, stinger charges, and health. Now, guys, let's take a look at the stats. And it's all about the weapon damage on this build. So it's 43.8% critic chance, 146.5% critical hit damage. With that being said, before we progress, now, with my watch level, which is 459, I have not touched critical hit chance. It's on 0%. We know we can get that to 10%. So that is another option. So if you have that already and you're running a very similar setup, we know we can get your crit hit chance to around about 53, 54%. Now, critical hit damage, that at the moment is on about 17%. So I've got another 3% on that. So I can get it to 150%. So that's what we're looking at on the build. Nice setup. Now, in terms of the weapon damage, it's 30% all weapon damage bonus and 30% assault rifle damage bonus and 15% shotgun damage bonus, which is nice on the Sweet Dreams. Let's take a look at the skill haste. I believe, guys, it's on about 28%. Let's have a look. It is 28.6%, which isn't great, isn't too shabby, but it is what it is. You can't have it all on this build. But what you do have is a lot of good gun damage, which is great. And your skill damage is decent. Could be better, guys. It could be better, of course. But still, that's the way I've chosen to roll on this build, which is great. Absolutely great. Love this hybrid skill build DPSer. It's awesome. Plus, you get extra life, which is great. So, let me just demonstrate how good this build is. And you've seen the gameplay anyway. You've seen the extra life. You've seen that bit of survivability. So, let's just take a look. Let's take a look at the Hive Stinger. And I'm going to pop Perfect Combined Arms. Yeah, over 1.1 million. See, guys, it's good. It is good, and it works a treat. In terms of this, let me just take this NPC down here. 84k. That is with that procced. Perfect Combined Arms. Again, let's wait for these NPCs to come back up. Okay, there's decent damage. Decent damage on the build, and that's what you want. So you've got a high stinger that deals 1.1 million damage. Then you have a lovely striker drone that is just a nuisance to NPCs. It's there as a distraction for you to continually pepper them with your nice critic chance and critic damage on the build. But guys, I like this build. I think it's great. I think it has so much utility in PvE, heroic content, solo content. You're in a good place. So of course, guys, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. From Stoodle, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.